So you don't think you need a heated pool until it's January in Phoenix. So today I'm going to show you a home that is somewhat unique here in Gilbert, mainly because of the location and that it's in a no HOA community. And I'm going to break that down a little bit more in a moment. And if you're unfamiliar, I'm Courtney Strelzik. I'm a local agent here in the Phoenix and East Valley area. And my job for this channel is really to give you guys, a good understanding of what it's like living here in Gilbert, and showing you things that you maybe won't be able to find like on Zillow or on Google. So if you think any of that would be helpful, go ahead and hit subscribe. But let's check out this home. So the location of this home is actually walking distance to downtown Gilbert. I walked it was 8 minutes and I'm in heels. So you could probably do it a little bit faster. You just take 2 turns and it spits you right out into downtown. And the interesting thing about this neighborhood too is, Gilbert in general, most of the homes are going to have HOAs. A lot of the homes were built after, the 80s and 90s, and it became more common just to see organized subdivisions run by an HOA, but there's a couple pockets, very few pockets that don't. This house actually was built in 1972, had a complete facelift. I'm going to show you that. So if you are looking for a home where you can do, like Airbnb, definitely a good option. But let's go check it out. So here is the house right here. They did do a paver driveway and then there's RV parking on the side of the house too. And so, like I said, this home was built in 1972, but in 2020, the owners actually did like a complete renovation of the house. Wasn't pig with lipstick. They actually did a lot of the major systems. They did a new roof, new AC unit, a lot of plumbing, electrical, and you'll see the inside completely renovated. So it's a big open concept. It's on the slightly smaller side. It's about 1,500 square feet. But when they did the reconfiguration of the house, definitely did a great job of making every square foot count for sure. You don't always see that. Sometimes you see some funky floor plans. But we have the kitchen here. And then this is a luxury vinyl plank flooring right here. And then we have these pull-out drawers. Good for storage. And then the primary bedroom was added on to the home. We'll check that in a minute. But we have a living room here. There's also a dog door if you have a pet. It takes it outside. And we have this living room. I'll kind of show you from this angle too. And then one thing with some of these like 1970 built homes, you will see some carports. This one does have a garage. It's a 1-car garage. Unfortunately, the Porsche does not convey. I'm sorry, guys. That one's not staying, but we do have a tankless water heater as well, which was newer too. So, I mean, really, it's kind of like having a brand new home. And then over on this side of the house, we have the 3 bedrooms. And then there's 2 full baths as well. Here's actually bathroom number 1. And let me show you the shower too. Pretty decent sized shower. I don't know if you can see there. And then we have bedroom number 1. And they replaced all the windows as well. So those are new dual pane windows, which is pretty important for the heat here. And then we have bedroom number 2. And they have walk-in closets over here. And then we have our laundry room with storage. And then here is the primary bedroom. And this is the room I was talking about. This is actually an addition here. And it has been permitted. And that's something, when you hear, if you heard there was an addition, definitely want to see if it's permitted, because if it's not, and there's that additional square footage, like if you have a mortgage and you have the appraiser come out, they are not gonna, if it hasn't been permitted, they won't count that new square footage into the value of the home. So it just, and that can be a headache. Like if it doesn't appraise for the purchase price, I mean, there's contingencies in place with that and so forth, but it can make it a little bit of a messy process. So it's just something to check. I mean, regardless if you hear there's renovations on a home or not, definitely have your agent make sure that, the floor plan and everything is matching what is on the MLS or Zillow. And then we have a walk-in closet over here. But I want to show you, let me show you. So we do have doors here to the backyard, but let me show you the backyard because that's my favorite spot, the house. All right, and here we go. We got a built-in barbecue, and they actually put a quartz countertop on top of this, which is pretty nice. And then we have a putting green. We have an RV gate there to access the side street. This is a corner lot. And then there is the RV parking right here. And I'll raise this up so you can see over. It's a good amount of space there. And because there's no HOA, you can actually park an RV there. I know like some other HOA neighborhoods, they have like a parking spot on the lot, but they won't allow you to have anything higher than the perimeter wall. So this is all turf as well. Then we have our fire pit right here. And then this is the heated pool I was talking about. Really beautiful pebble tack finish. And then this is travertine tile right here. And then another great thing too is all the ficus right here, ficus natita. If I'm saying that wrong, someone put that in the comment. But they're not cheap, I'll tell you that. And you know, it's probably gonna take maybe like 5-7 years before they're really, really big and mature. But this will give you a lot of privacy. Honestly, it's a really good investment. It's a costly thing to put in your backyard, but it'll look really, really beautiful in a handful of years. So I did mention a moment ago that this home definitely had potential for being a good Airbnb. And the main reasons is mainly its proximity to downtown Gilbert. You're, like I said, really close, less than an 8-minute walk. And then there's no HOA, so there's no restrictions for short-term rentals. But the biggest thing, if, you know, in full transparency, Airbnbs aren't quite as lucrative as they were, you know, like 6, 7, 8 years ago. Definitely not as saturated as they used to be either, but you really need to make sure your vacancy rate is low. You definitely want a house with a pool in a good location, and that really, and no HOA, like I said, so that really checks the 3 boxes here. But if you're, you know, primarily you're just looking for a primary residence, it's not like this neighborhood has a ton of Airbnbs. I know there's some pockets like in Scottsdale, particularly around Old Town and that south side where it was like every other house was an Airbnb. You don't have to worry about that as much here. It's definitely a different scene. And the other thing too, I really want to highlight is the location. If you watch my channel, you know I'm a big fan of this area overall, just because it's so easy to get around. You know, you have downtown, you have parks like Freestone and Riparian Preserve really close. There's, you know, biking trails. You're not far from Santan Village or Agritopia, all these other like main spots in Gilbert. So a really central location. The only thing is homes are a little bit older. We don't have like new construction in this part of town, or as much new construction, but go ahead, read below if you want more information, photos, all the details of this house. It is priced at $800,000. And if you want to learn more about neighborhoods in Gilbert, I also have a playlist right here where I highlight a lot of different neighborhoods at various price points, location, age, all that good stuff. So go ahead and hit that play button right there. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.